There are many fascinating and bizarre experiences that we humans encounter in this world. Some are so bizarre, they are considered paranormal or supernatural, and seem to defy our understanding of what we consider logical and scientific. Dr. Jeffrey Checker, along with his investigative partner, Shawn, is on a quest for the truth. He and Shawn are exploring myths, legends, and the Bible. Dr. Checker is a retired exorcist and has dealt with dark spirits for years, helping families rid evil from their lives. Shawn works in artificial intelligence and has a client that is known worldwide as a driving force in AI and military defense. Join them as they head out on exciting adventures, hunting down anything that is considered paranormal.
This is a real thing. Demons are a real thing. The spirit world is a real thing.
Your destination is on the left.
Dr. Jeffrey Checker and his wife Denise arrive at Jeff's longtime friend Shawn's home. They are preparing to look for unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs.
Denise and I are here today at my buddy Shawn's. We're going to interview him about his interest in the paranormal and share some good news with him. And we're going to head out on his boat. So hi, what's your name and where are you from?
Shawn and from Michigan Center, Michigan.
So what's your background in? You work for a large corporation that works in the AI field, correct? Artificial intelligence?
Yep.
And they have a client that we can't mention, but let's just suffice it to say everybody in the world's probably heard of this client,
yes.
Right? That's fair to say?
Yep.
Okay, we'll say that. We'll leave it at that.
Yep.
And Shawn, what are you interested in reporting for my documentary?
Well, so I've always been, I consider myself a paranormal enthusiast, meaning I haven't gone out and done a lot of stuff, but I've done a lot of research. I've always been interested in it. Coming from, being a Christian all my life, I've always used a Christian approach to explain the paranormal, knowing that we're not going to have all the answers on this, in this lifetime. We'll have that when we're in heaven, but always kind of wondering how everything ties in, and that's how I look at paranormal is. How does this fit into God's master plan, or how to explain it in a Christian perspective?
Well, was there something that started driving you towards an interest in the paranormal, or was it just like everybody else?
I can't really tell you if I was really driven to it at a young age. I did have an experience when I was young that was very real to me. It's still very real to me now, and I was only like 5 years old at the time. But I was visiting my grandparents in New York, and I was scared. I had traveled for the first time on a plane by myself. It's in a new place. Went to bed that night in a strange bedroom, very nervous, just being in a strange place, and was awoken by an angel. I felt it. I woke up, I looked, and at the foot of my bed, and it was strange because I vividly remember this thing being like 15 feet tall, and bedrooms are not, but there was no ceiling in that bedroom at the time. I was just looking at this beautiful angelic creature, like 15 feet tall, as I'm laying there, and I did not feel an ounce of fear, which is just a strange thing as a 5-year-old seeing something like this. So I knew it was an angel because of that. I felt no fear. I felt completely at ease, and for the rest of my time there, it was just a great experience. I wasn't worried about anything, wasn't nervous, but I felt like God used that. I needed that. 45 years later.
Well, Scripture tells us, right, that when we have troubles, the Lord commands His angels to come attend to us.
Yep. This is a real thing. Demons are a real thing. The spirit world is a real thing. I think just the whole social media thing, and it's just turned everyone inside, just so me based, and look at me, I'm going to take a selfie, subscribe to me, all this other stuff. We're just so focused on ourselves, and I think that's part of that great deception. I think we're living in it now, And it's just turned us into horrible human beings.
So self-centeredness has been a root cause of many proclivities, in your opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. And at this point, with social media being how it is, I don't see how it can get better. I really don't know how we could ever pull back from where we are now.
Sure.
And between that and just removing God from every part of our lives, I think those two combined are just prove to me, anyway, that we are definitely living in the end times. It's just you see Christians that are manipulating the Word of God to fit,
Their criteria
and their beliefs.
Yep,
and
2 Timothy, itchy ears.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how we turn away from that either.
So in your opinion, or do you have an opinion of what anything considered paranormal, what do you think it is? Whether it be a Mothman or a Dogman or a ghost, do you think it's all demonic?
It's all demonic, yeah, it absolutely is. You see spirits, if you're ghost hunting, you see, Bigfoot sightings, UFO, Martians, whatever. It's all demonic. The devil's a very powerful person. He has powers. His whole dominion has powers. I believe all that stuff is demonic, all of it. And it may present itself. It may present itself in many different ways.
Like shape-shifting.
Shape-shift, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be a Bigfoot. It could be a Mothman. It could be whatever. It's all demonic.
I'm heading out on a pontoon with my wife and my friend Shawn. Out here, way in the distance over those trees, Shawn had sent me a picture. Just innocently enough, I'd asked him if he was still living on the lake. He sends me a picture. Me being an investigator, of course, I have to look at the picture very carefully, and I found something very incredible. Probably about 10 miles on the other side of those trees. And right now we're getting ready to head out. And this here boat, it's already got my initials on there. Actually, those are for Jesus Christ. It's a Christian manufacturer. So you were out on your deck back in April, and I hadn't talked to you for about a year. And I recall I sent you a text, and I said, "Hey, Sarge, you still living on the lake?" And what did you do?
Yeah, I sent you a proof. So I took a picture right behind me, well, a little to the left, just to show you the lake. And
then about this angle right here, right? You told me right where those trees are in the cloud. And this is what he sent me. And as you can see, you weren't expecting to capture anything in that picture. You were just...
No, I wasn't looking. I was just sending you a picture of the lake.
Yeah, to show me that you still lived on the lake.
Yep. And then you sent me something back.
And I said, well, did you notice this in your picture? And you thought it was something that I had created and sent to you. You didn't even realize it was your
Well,
picture.
Actually, you texted me back and said, look at this. And I'm like, what is that? And like, what do you see? I'm like, that looks like a freaking UFO. And I'm like, where did you get that picture? And I didn't realize that you had zoomed into my picture, the one that I sent. So that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so there's a UFO hanging in a cloud. It's got a light in the corner, right?
Yep.
And there's a beam of light coming down from it, and then there's some anomalous little figure of some sort, and it all looks like it's being dropped from the ship, right?
Yeah, from what you had done zooming in, and that's certainly a little bit funny.
Yeah, all I did was zoom in and crop it, and then looked at it again and thought, holy smokes, what did you capture, And so tonight, Shawn and I are taking off, and we're going to try to go 5 to 10 miles past those tree lines where the original picture was taken from this deck. It looks as though it was 5 or 10 miles from here where that spaceship was, and we're curious as to why would they be hovering in that area and dropping what appeared to be some type of a Martian alien skin suit, for lack of a better term. So we're going to go on this adventure here pretty soon, and we're going to take his boat out tonight and go through the water, because he sent me pictures ever since April. He's been sending me pictures at my request, 3 or 4 a night, and at times there are quite a few anomalies that we can't explain in these pictures that I will show to you here shortly as well.
Shawn had sent Jeff a picture, in answer to Jeff asking if Shawn still lived on the lake. The picture contained more than Shawn had anticipated. After explaining to Shawn what Dr. Checker thought he had found, Shawn decided to delete the photo from his phone. The deletion caused an icon to appear in the photo. The area the photo was in the original text, was captured and then cropped, so it could be saved. Here is the original picture. As we explore this picture further, you can see that there is some type of shape to the anomaly at the bottom of the light beam. Something shaped like some kind of living creature. There is also a beam of light. Notice that it is lying on top of a cloud, and has an onboard light. Dr. Checker changes the colors within a program called GIMP, which allows changes to the color of the picture, without disturbing the original content of the picture. He has learned through years of investigating, that color changes within the original picture often reveal objects or information that the original picture did not reveal. This by no means changes any of the original photo settings. Merely, the GIMP program simply uses algorithms to add or subtract natural coloring already within the photo. Dr. Checker now begins to scrutinize the photon beam. He extracts the natural coloring, using the GIMP program, and is shocked at what this procedure reveals. It appears as though a reptilian creature is within the photon beam. There is still light surrounding this creature, but the primary colors have all been stripped, allowing us to virtually see through the photon beam and get an X-ray glimpse of what is inside. With the total extraction of color, it is easy to see the silhouette of a lizard-shaped creature within the beam of light. It appears to have the bumpy head of a lizard, as well as a long torso, large thighs, and a curled tail behind it. Adding back the original blue, the silhouette becomes even more apparent. Finally, we take a closer look at the object beneath the photon beam. It is difficult to ascertain what this is, exactly. It may be some type of skin suit, or we may never know for certain. Adding, subtracting, and changing the color aspect ratios within the GIMP program did not offer much relief. The object does appear to be hollow, with no signs of life within the eye sockets, which leads Dr. Checker to believe the logical solution may be that this is indeed a skin suit, used by supposed alien life forms to disguise themselves from humans. After subtracting every color from the palette in the GIMP program, the object still maintains a green aura around it, which is one of the most interesting parts of this discovery for Dr. Checker.
No, try to get on your knees. They're done? Both of them? No turning back now.
Skies are clearing up. Might be a good day or evening for some UAPs. We're hoping that's what we're going to see here. camera does not do justice to that sky.
Never do.
So we're gonna set up camp and drop anchor back over this way because Shawn believes that this is the direction when he took the shot right over here between those two trees.
The sky is opened up. That's where directly across from my.
Okay, so that's where we caught the picture of the UAP with the light beam coming down, dropping something onto the ground or the water. We're not sure which. Shawn and I, we're going to get ready to use that Bluetooth speaker and that Bluetooth speaker. Here you go, Shawn. And we're going to, I saw a video on a reel, Facebook reel, and I'm highly skeptical, and so Shawn, right? Yep. After I told you the story. This guy's got two frequencies that he ran on his laptop to a Bluetooth speaker, and supposedly if you run them together at the same time, it opened up a portal, he said, to Sedona, Arizona, and we just kind of think it's full of crap, and so we're going to try and disprove that right now. So hold on just a second, let us get everything together, and then we'll get back with you. So right now I'm looking for an online tone generator, and the tone is set to 528 megahertz, is it? Right? Hertz, excuse me, 528 hertz. And Shawn's phone is set to 525 hertz. And these are the same two tones that supposedly have opened this portal for this gentleman. That portal from, I don't know what location he was, but supposedly to Sedona, Arizona, where I know there's a lot of witchcraft and people use crystals for magic and things of that nature there, which is odd to me. I didn't grow up like that, but I'm going to start my...
Same here.
There's my tone.
Yeah, that's that one right there.
And then fire up my camera. And then Shawn's going to start his.
Okay, there it is.
Generate a tone over here. Okay, to generate a tone over here.
They're both.
Those lights mean nothing, by the way.
So far I've called BS and I don't see anything at all happening. Probably just disturbing the birds. I'm not sure how long he let it run for. Seemed to me he let it run for a while. Hey, this almost sounded like they were synchronizing in tones now.
I did a couple times now.
You see that? It's something's changing. Hold on now. Now it's picking up speed. You look at the sky, you keep an eye on that. Yeah, I call BS. I think we can shut these off. God's Majesty right there. So, Shawn and I just got done trying that portal opening test, and so far we've had no luck, which we've assumed would be the case. And now we're going to go back towards the area where he had taken the original picture, and we're going to find a spot to dock for a minute, and we're going to stop and see if we can see any UAPs in the sky, because there was a reason they were dropping it off over in this area, and maybe it's because it's a remote area, but hopefully, you know, we might have some luck and they'll come back and pay us a visit. This is the general vicinity. A lot of beautiful homes through here. Skies are starting to clear up a bit. We're hoping for some activity tonight. There's a woman named Aaliyah that I interviewed for my documentary, and she can somehow seem to attract UAPs, and she said I can call her right now, and so I'm going to give her a ring and see if she can give me some advice to help us out here this evening.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm well. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
I want to let you know I have you on speaker.
Okay.
I have my partner Shawn with me here, and we're out on his lake right now at this time of night
Oh, yeah?
looking for UAPs, because he sent me a picture back in April,
Okay.
and I mean, there was a triangular ship in a cloud,
Really?
and it had a beam of light coming down. It was dropping something into somewhere in the neighborhood across from his lake.
Wow.
And so we're out here right now in the general vicinity, and I'm wondering, and I'm wondering if you can tell me if there's some way I could, you know, attract this thing back here to this area.
Okay. Oh, let me go. I'm gonna step outside. Oh my goodness, how interesting.
Let me try.
Wow, cool.
For some reason.
Well, yeah, what I do when I do this is I like to just look up at the sky and kind of project that energy upwards. Just with my intention, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably horribly.
No,
Right
you're doing a great job. And
thank you.
and have you heard about the technique where you know, during that meditation where you try and allow your mind to see yourself above, or not yourself, but
Yes.
be above the earth, and then pinpoint your exact location?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. That's how I do it. So,
Okay.
And what I like to do is I'll what I like to do is I kind of start by visualizing the Milky Way, which is really cool really fun on a clear night, because sometimes you can be looking right up and almost see it, but you know, if you're really lucky. But like I'll visualize the Milky Way, and then I will visualize the Orion arm, which is what I believe, you know, as far as I know, is where our solar system is. And then I visualize our solar system, and then I've, like, you know, like I kind of imagine I'm looking at all the planets lined up, and then I visualize Earth, and then I kind of just kind of like visualize yourself like zooming in down on your own location where you're at.
Yep,
like,
I got you.
Like I'll be like, okay, so, you know, I'm looking down on the United States, and I'm looking down on Michigan at my address at my yellow house on the river. So yeah, that's how I do it. And I don't know, I mean, I hope that helps you somewhat.
Well, you've had success doing that, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, because you get a lot of sightings.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll be honest, it hasn't worked for me 100% of the time, but I have had like significant success with it. So. So for some people, I think it depends a lot on a lot of different things, probably.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me call you.
Of course, yeah, anytime.
Shawn and Jeff spend another couple of hours looking for UAPs, and then decide to get back to Shawn's home, in order to check on the cameras on the deck.
So it's
Terrifying.
gotten to the point where we're going to have to take off now, and as we head back, we're going to keep looking. But right now it's pitch black and getting colder. We haven't seen much of anything.
As the darkness sets in, the men wonder if there are any signs of life in the skies. They make their way through the swarm of bugs, eager to get back to warm.
So dark, you can't see anything here. June 23rd, 2023. I'm watching the night sky where Shawn had gotten a picture of a UAP dropping something on the other side of his neighborhood here. Something's going on. I just put a full battery in this camera. It's only been running 21 minutes and it's almost dead, so now I've got to go replace the battery again.
As the neighbor across the lake builds a fire, something begins to illuminate in the sky. been there the entire time, only being exposed from the fire. It appears to remain suspended above the ground, unmoving, but disappearing when the flames from the fire die down, and then reappearing when the flames grow larger. Shawn has lived on this lake for 12 years, and knows for certain that there is nothing in that area that would hover, nor reflect light, like this object seems to be doing. The UAP is now starting to glow brighter, exposing even more of its size. Again, you can see from deck cam 2 that the object is suspended in the air, and reflecting light from the fire.
Where, like, did you think you would ever be alive the day where the government is coming forth with information about solid evidence on UFO activity? I mean, willingly? They're having set meetings on it. They're like, this is the stuff we never thought would materialize, and all of a sudden it is. And I think it all feeds into that narrative that, you know, they're working towards that one world order now. Let's get everyone to start believing that there is a free chance of alien takeover. So we even got to depend on our government.
Well, right after the whistleblower appeared on television before Congress, it was like, what, 2 days later? All of a sudden there was all this red flag material going out saying aliens are here and aliens are going to attack us. Well, that's the narrative they're trying to build, I believe, personally, because what better way to help usher in the Antichrist and create the New World Order by creating a one world end?
As the fire grows larger, it seems the object is presenting some type of reciprocal effect to the light. Perhaps it is changing shape due to the explosion, or it is releasing energy as the fire grows. As the fire grows more intense, there is some obvious lens flare, as the camera's lens refracts the light from the fire. However explainable, or unexplainable, the anomaly is simply fascinating. Unexpectedly, the UAP appears one more time, then seems to drop out of the sky. Right at that time, the camera's audio quits working, while the UAP appears to be on the ground. Now appearing as two lights, and then disappears into the night sky.
You know, there's probably been generations upon generations that say, oh, we're living in the end times, you know, look at the wars happening and whatever. But I just can't believe that there's ever been a time like there is right now